Well, welcome everybody. We are live on Facebook. I have got my good friend and business attorney, Chris Scott-Dixon from the law offices of Chris Scott-Dixon with me here today. Thank you so much, Chris, for being here and spending time with us during everybody's lunchtime or depending on where you are, maybe your afternoon tea. Happy to have you on.
Good afternoon, Julie. Good afternoon, everybody else.
Great. And a little bit about Chris. So prior to becoming a lawyer, he owned and operated a successful advertising business in London, England. He had 26 employees. And so he understands the complexities and day-to-day struggles facing businesses in the modern age. And he provides practical solutions rather than just legal ones, not just legal ones, but legal ones, emphasizing fast response time. Okay. And I personally have experience with that. I worked with Chris. I actually met Chris a few years ago when I was selling my business, and he was my partner in that process, and highly, highly recommend him to all of my clients. But his law firm concentrates on the formation of correct business structure, contract drafting and review, commercial lease negotiation and review, and ultimately handling the sale of your business. So he's very, very passionate about helping small businesses. And important to know, in his spare time, he works with numerous dog rescue groups and enjoys hiking and getaways. So again, welcome, Chris. And what I always like to ask to start is, Chris, what do you consider to be your biggest success or achievement in your business, and why?
My biggest achievement is I think it's I don't want to be able to, as a lawyer, often you hear them say, well, it's this case, or I got that, or I did that. And it isn't for me. I think the biggest win for me is seeing clients grow over the years, and some have just been incredible.
So seeing their success and being part of that journey.
Yes, I think so, and the relationships that we've had over those years, the ups and downs, because I have seen some, I think, just amazing people in my time as a business lawyer.
I mean, right?
Yes. Obviously, you're the number one, Julie, but after you,
of course, yes.
I mean,
you heard it here.
Yeah, but seriously, there have been some people who I've just been amazed at how their integrity, what they've done for their staff. So that would be the biggest, to watch those people thrive.
Sure. So their success is your success, essentially.
Yes.
Okay. Was there a significant moment or decision that had an impact on the success of your business and where you are to date?
Yes, I think. Other than working with a business coach, which I know that was significant for me, because it allowed me to get out of my own way. So, because remember, I think as a lawyer, there's two things. One is you're a lawyer first, obviously. You're always a lawyer first, but then you're a business. You're running a business. And I think most lawyers, we forget all about running a business, and we're just being lawyers. Yeah. We're just running a practice.
So would you say, looking back, was the moment or the decision, understanding that, was it you decided that you were ready, or that you knew that you wanted to do the business differently? What was that?
I think it was a number of factors. One is I wasn't happy doing the type of law I was doing. I hated it. It was killing me. I just didn't like it. And I don't know why I didn't do business law right off the bat. I just didn't. And most lawyers get just stuck in an area and never really think about what they want to do. It's just, well, I interned, or I worked for that firm, and now I'm doing, med mal or whatever it might be.
Mhm.
And then I sat down, I remember thinking, okay, what do you really want to do? What type of law?
Mhm.
And I do. And I mean, I've said this before, you know, I really have a passion for small business.
Mhm.
Really, I just do. And
Mhm.
and I think small business, it's not like big corporate America. You get those relationships, you know that you're going to help people, and you can see them grow, get a second store, get a second cafe, get a second or third, you know, take on new employees, all those sorts of things.
Mhm.
So yeah, so I love it.
Yeah, great. And so, what advice then would you give someone who's just starting out a business or in entrepreneurship, whether from your own experience in starting out two businesses, and or, from a legal perspective?
Well, I think you should always have a business attorney. I just think or at least talk to one.
Mhm.
But from a business perspective, I think I know that I had no mentors,
Mhm.
never had a mentor. So it's things I would have done if I had my time again. Get a mentor.
Mhm.
Believe in yourself. Realize that we all make it so much more difficult than it really is.
Mhm.
And having worked with me, that I'm one of the worst for that. But no, I think you can look at businesses and you go, just get out of your own way and do it. If you say you're going to do it, do it.
Mhm.
And it honestly isn't that hard.
Yeah. So having a mentor or mentors,
Definitely.
someone to be accountable to other than yourself, because, we'll let ourselves down because we could do that tomorrow, or it's okay if I don't do that. But when you are held accountable by someone else, then I don't want to let them down, whether it's a mentor or, family or whatever that looks like. But it sounds like having accountability partners, somebody who can, like you said, get out of your own way, where shifting that belief or that self-affirmation of I'm the worst at, where I'm in the process of becoming this way or this kind of business owner.
Yes, and I get an assistant.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Get an assistant.
Yep.
Best thing you'll ever do.
Mm-hmm.
You work harder. You work harder. They'll push you. Get the right assistant.
Mm-hmm.
So get the right assistant and don't be an employee in your own business. And I know you probably say that in your sleep, but it's true. We're all guilty of that. Definitely.
And so, in our work together, one of your goals was to hire an assistant to take some of these these non-revenue generating activities, as well as some of the day-to-day, a lot of the day-to-day, to free up more of your time to do more of the work that you enjoy, but also to get out there and to get more business, and being more strategy. So, what would you say, in those making those decisions in hiring and what to give your new assistant? How do you make those kinds of decisions? What process do you go through?
Well, I'm not going to be boring. I'm going to go slightly off because here I think that with me personally, I gave her the freedom. I even gave her the freedom to shout at me. I said, look, there's a three things here, like billing. I need you. Feel free to shout at me if I don't get my billing to you 3 p.m. on a day.
Mm-hmm.
Come in and we'll brainstorm. And I give my assistant every day. Here's my list. Track it. Tell me, what am I doing? Where am I on my list? And that pushes me definitely.
Mm-hmm. But then she also has her own tasks, which
Yes.
prior to hiring her, you went through a process to map out what were those going to be.
Yes, and I spent a lot of time doing that. And then I crossed off a lot of things. So I don't really want that. I don't really need that. But no, it was helping me put certain structures in place, definitely.
Mm-hmm.
So we're putting those are in place there and to work on them. It's just a work, everything's a work in progress. Where can you improve? Where can you streamline? And the best thing, she'll just say, no, I can do that. I can do that. That's what you want to hear. No, I'll give that to me. I'll do that.
Yes.
Because as a business attorney or as an attorney, you know, I make my money sat at a desk. And if I'm not making money sat at a desk, I should be out networking. Those are really the two things. And if you're a realtor, that's basically the same. You should be out, either you're getting clients or out, or you're networking. Your assistant should be doing everything else.
Leveraging yourself. Yes. Yeah. There was my coach Carrie, we were talking last week, and she went to the global conference for ActionCoach, and she said one of her top BFOs, blinding flashes of the obvious, those aha moments, was leverage equals let go, where there are, yes, you have the systems in place and you'll have training and things like that, so you can feel more comfortable letting go. But, you know, 80% perfect is better than not done at all, or holding it and, you know, whatnot.
It's funny because if you wrote down somewhere, make a decision. There's
better than no decision.
Exactly what I wrote down when I was sort of prepping for this. I thought, well, what do you, if you ask me that, make a decision, because you can always change it, you know. But if you don't make one, you're just stuck there. And I'm amazed because Carrie Kaufman still has moments. Wow, good. I thought, really? Yes, excellent. Right? That's pleased me right there.
You heard here, the coach Carrie still gets BFOs.
Oh my God. Yeah.
Not, you know, everyone, we're human, right? If you're not growing, it's like a tree. If you're not growing, you're dying, right? So it's always looking for new ideas, new thinking, right? And yes. Sorry, everybody, I have a little bit of a cold, so I need to cough once I get. I was hoping that wouldn't happen.
But silent cough.
Ah, right. All right. So, what would you say are some of the biggest challenges or opportunities in your specific industry? Oh, did you freeze? Or are you thinking? Oh, there we go.
You were frozen. I think it was your cough.
It is.
I don't know what I was doing.
Yeah, I was like, he's either thinking really hard or he's frozen.
No, it was you were the frozen one. You even had a silent. You even had a silent cough.
Did you hear the question though?
No.
Okay, it was. What do you see as the biggest opportunities or challenges in your industry?
Well, the biggest challenge will be AI. That'll be the biggest challenge, and it'll be the same as with the internet. People think, oh, I can do this myself. But as I often say to clients, great, yeah. I mean, I think I was talking last week about this. A client said to me, yeah, I got this contract. What do you think? And I was reviewing it, and I said, yeah, it's a great contract. Not for you. It's better for the other side, but yeah, it's a good contract. It's just you don't know enough to know. It looks good, it sounds great, but you don't understand it, and that's the whole point of whether you use you having a CPA or any professional, I think.
So you're saying the challenge is, having business owners go to AI to help them to draft a contract themselves.
Yes, I think so. I mean, AI, we're told, can do everything, so that'll be part of it. Yeah. But again, do I really worry about it? No, I don't. I think it'll be interesting to see how attorneys will use AI and whether that can streamline some things. But so it'll be both a positive and a negative, like everything.
Yeah. As far as I know, quite a few of my clients use AI, or they have their agencies that use AI for marketing strategy. Do you see that as an opportunity, whether in your business or within your industry?
I do. And I also see there'll be there's some copyright issues that are so there are cases already coming out as to AI. I can't say that I've spent a lot of time looking at them, but there's a few that are quite interesting where what's happening is someone will say, well, yes, for an actor will say, you used my likeness or whatever at the beginning for AI. And yes, it's gone all the way along, but that was the original. So it'll be interesting to see those cases coming down and who actually has ownership of that. But I think obviously, I think they'll probably get past that. So I don't think it's a huge issue. Yeah. But no, I think there'll be huge opportunities in marketing for everybody because of AI. It'll just be faster.
Well, and thinking about what you said in the beginning and contracts and things like that, the lesson here is get a business attorney, contact a business attorney. Even if you do decide you want to try to do something yourself, always having a professional review it, and protecting yourself, because maybe it's something that you have now, but down the line, it could come and bite you really hard in the butt.
A client's contract is the lifeblood of their business. Mm-hmm. That's the promise that they're making to a client. Mm-hmm. These are our deliverables, and this is how we're going to deliver those items. These are all our promises that we're putting in this contract. The client's promise back, their bargain, is money, right? Mm-hmm. It's like in your business, you're delivering something and your clients are paying you for that. Mm-hmm. So then the question is, surely that contract is your business. So mm-hmm. how people can just think it's a piece of paper is beyond me.
Mm-hmm. Do you have an example that you can share of when it would have benefited a business owner to come to you prior to when they actually came to you? Is there anything that you can share?
Yes. I could be here for 2 hours doing that. Just story after story after story. I won't just go just for me, but there are actors who've just given everything away. They signed something, and that's so they don't get their, they might get their initial amount of money, but they've just thrown away the farm. So I did some contracts where for an actor where there was a book deal as well. Mm. And the attorney, they weren't interested in that. Well, guess what? We got the book out first. So, and that book was actually, I was quite proud about that. The book that we struck out from the initial deal, that's what really helped this client of mine, move forward. It wasn't a movie per se. It was, I think, the book and what he wanted to do with using it in a certain way, mm-hmm. adoptions and stuff like that. It was an interesting story.
Yeah.
But as to clients, well, yeah, I mean, there are, gosh, I got a host. Commercial lease.
The photographs one. Can you share that one?
Oh, you mean using a photograph that you shouldn't have?
Yeah.
Yeah, that scares a lot of people. I get 3 or 4 of these a year. A client will ring me up and they'll say, Chris, we got this letter. And I'll say, right, yeah. And it'll be, they say that we owe them $15,000 because we used one of their photographs. Hmm. And I'll say, yeah, that's what it says. And I'll say, what are we going to do? And I'm going to go, well, there are really no defenses. You use the photograph. That's the whole point. Mm-hmm. It's not your photograph. I mean, yes, you should have bought it for $5, but you didn't. You just took it, one of your staff members took it off the internet. And there are whole attorneys and software out there just finding it. So they're not just looking at websites manually. There's software for this. And then once they do it, as I said, there are no defenses. So my job then is just to try and negotiate it down, mm-hmm. and fast. Mm-hmm. And they never do it. I tell you one thing, they never do it again, mm-hmm. ever.
Learned. Yes. Yeah. So what would you say is the lesson in something like that? Is it training your team on how to do something like that, or just make sure that you buy something or check the photos or talk to your attorney? What would you
Well,
say?
talk to your journey. I mean, that's part of when I do a checklist with somebody or go through,
Yeah.
how to run your business, which is something we offer to everybody. That's one of the things we'll touch on. There are other things where we'll say in that same vein, which will be, I think, to make it really simple for people is, don't use stuff that doesn't belong to you. Like just like pretend your mother's there. That's what I always say. Pretend your mother's there in the background. It is common sense. Or they'll say, yeah, but everybody else is doing it. Well, everybody else is doing it, and eventually they'll all get caught and they'll all be up for $20,000. It's just that's it. I know that commercial leases, that's a big thing. I harp on about that all the time. Commercial leases. I had a client, and again, it's really hard after the fact. I can't help people after the fact, or I can, but it's limited. So I had a client, she rang me up and she said, hey, is this right? And I was worried when they go, is this right? And what they'd done is they'd taken new space and it was cost a lot of money, the new place. They thought that they hadn't done anything. They thought that their last commercial space just automatically lapsed. And they were right that the original lease had terminated, except there was an option contract for another 3 years, and it was automatic.
Oh no.
Yeah, so it's automatic. So now this client of mine is building out a new place. This place, they're saying, hey, by the way, you owe us, it's like $12,000 a month. We negotiated in the end, but it cost her thousands and thousands of dollars just because she didn't want an attorney to have a quick look at her lease.
Yeah. Which it's maybe hundreds up front, but to save you tens of thousands.
Tens of thousands.
Well, and having somebody in your corner. I mean, I can't just, personally having you in my corner just to ask questions or refer clients and leads to. It's, having someone who knows the law, who has your back on things that you don't necessarily need to completely understand, right? You don't have to be the expert in everything in your business, but it's having these key people who are your advisory, right? So I just, I can't say it enough. Like every business owner needs their solid business attorney they can trust to go to for things to protect them from things down the road.
Right. And part of our job also, I think anyway, a big part of the job is reducing costs, right? So it's let your lawyer see if they can negotiate a price down, a cost down. So use them for that. Lawyers are very good at being the bad guys.
Let you guys be the bad guys.
Yeah. So you want to maintain, I always say to clients, you want to maintain that relationship with your with the landlord or with a vendor or with a big client or something like that. So just let your attorney make the call. Yeah. And say, look, we're looking at this. Is that something? They'll go around you if they want. Around the attorney, I should say. They'll do that. But at least it's about maintaining your relationship with clients and the landlord and those people, and letting the lawyers do what they do. Right. And cover you and covering your
Amen. That's good to know. Yes. So thinking about time, just wrapping up here. I always like to ask, one of the things that you mentioned in the beginning that, one of your biggest successes is watching and being a part of your clients' success, witnessing that, but it's the relationships. So, one of your key networking strategies is building those relationships and having those strategic partnerships and referrals. But I'd like to ask, here today, and anybody that's watching the recording, who is it that you are looking to connect with, whether to help them or where you can bring value or where they can bring value to you?
It's really any small business in California. I know that sounds really large, but it is. But I like working. I'll tell you who I like working with people who care. I'm very lucky. I don't have to take on every client. Let's put it that way. So I want to work with people who want to move forward. The easiest clients I have are the ones that work with you, because everybody has. We're all going in the same direction.
Yeah.
That's the thing. So it really does make a difference. People who actually want to build their business it's a lot easier for me to work with those people who see opportunities and who have the right work ethic and who are driven. Those are the clients that I like working with and helping.
Okay. And then as far as referral partners, are there any industries that are complementary to yours where there might be people that should be connecting with you and vice versa?
Other professionals, the usual CPAs, who else? Professionals, CPAs, business brokers. Any business brokers, they're always a good referral. And then how it usually works is if I'm in an industry like interior design, I work with a lot of interior designers just because I work with several, and then I know how that industry works, and it's very quirky. So it's just so it's those sort of sectors.
Okay. And then where do you see the law office of Christopher Scott-Dixon in the next 5 years?
5 years, wow. Wow, by then we will have tripled. Well, no, I have to be careful because I know you're going to hold me to this. Tripled or quadrupled. And
it'll be recorded, so I can play it back and be like, look.
All right, no, definitely tripled by then. I would at least tripled. It'll be tripled by then.
Okay.
And I'll still be enjoying it.
Yep. And still rescuing dogs and having
a lot more.
Yep. Great.
Yeah. So I'm working with 3 rescue groups at the same time. And as I grow, it just gets easier and easier. Love it.
Yep. And you just recently adopted a new doggie,
Lily.
Miss Lily Pad, yes, who is not at the office today because she would be wanting to sit on his lap, which I don't think that any of us would care. I think it's really just like, show us the dog. So next time,
next time.
Yes,
I'll do
bring her next time.
She's a woofer. She's a bit of a woofer. We're working on that. So as soon as she sees the Zoom call or me pick up a phone, it's like, well, I'll woof.
Well, it's like having a kid. I mean, my little one has nothing to say to me until I go on the phone. And then,
as soon as you're at a meeting, they're like, in they come.
Mommy, come look at this. Mommy.
Where are your cats, Julie?
I have the door shut. So yes, and there's the cats. So yeah, but wouldn't have it any other way, would we?
No,
we would not. So, well, Chris, thank you again for being here today and sharing your wisdom and some nuggets from your journey and some advice. Really, really appreciate your time and expertise. And like I mentioned, I appreciate that I have you as a resource for other business owners, and that I can trust you in that, and appreciate our partnership and all of your hard work. And thank you, everybody, for joining us today. Hope you got some great tips, and feel free to type in the comments your top BFO from this session, and we'll look forward to seeing you next time. Take care.
Thank you, Julie. Take care.